Architectural Builder's Supply is pleased to present you with this recording of the technical question that is listed in the title of this video.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
Locksmithing customer service support, and I found you on the internet, and I just thought, hey, I might as well give this guy a call and see if he is around. I have a very general, sort of specific and general question about a Yale lock sets and converting 1.5 inch face bores to 2 1/8 inch face bores, and if that's a standard procedure or if I have the wrong locks. Is this anything that you are able to talk to me about right now, or did I get a hold of the wrong guy?
Yes to the former. So what locks do you have?
I have Yale D series indicator cylinder deadbolts.
Okay. So there's a cylinder and an indicator on a D series?
So, and yes.
Okay.
It is for a commercial bathroom stall and for public restrooms, and so we have doors with 1.5 inch face bores and existing locks that fit that size, and we had a new order of new Yale locks that seemed to be the existing replacement, and there's only one option from Yale in that indicator series, and we got the package of them, and they come with 2 1/8 inch diameter. They need that 2 1/8 inch diameter face bore hole, and I'm looking on the directions, and it says to make a lock fit a different size, you can flip a collar over to an orientation collar, and I'm just kind of scratching my head here. I'm like, I don't see that part. I don't see how you flip that around. I don't know who to talk to. I've reached out to Yale and to other places, but not really got nobody to talk to. I know talking about locks over there. No, you did not. You're the first person who's answered their phone regarding locks.
Have you called the people that you ordered the hardware from?
Yeah, we got it from Granger, and I can't get a hold of Granger.
Yeah. So I don't provide technical support on stuff I didn't supply. What's the part number of the Yale lock that you have?
Yeah, I have that. One moment. That is a D92 626.
You mean a D292?
Excuse me, correct. D292 626.
Okay, so you said there was a cylinder. There's no cylinder involved in that.
Okay, maybe I misspoke. Like I said, I'm not.
Okay, I mean the reason
locksmith.
I'm saying that is because I need to know what hardware you have, so I'm clear. So you've got D292s, you've got 1.5 holes, and the D292s only take a 2 1/8. Is that the bottom line?
Yes, although in their instruction manual, it in the schematic it shows a piece called a collar, and it says flip over collar to for 1.5 inch hole. Now that collar piece is not included in the package, so this is where I'm at with being confused about it.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the. They might be referring to the. I don't know. Let me take a look and see. Installation instructions. Auxiliary locks. D. Yeah. Yeah, I see where they refer to that. If it's not in your hardware package, well, let's look. What do they say for? trying to see if that ring is a something you've got to specify.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was looking for too, and I can't find any part specific number for that ring, for that collar.
I don't see any reference in the catalog or the price list where you must specify that if you have an existing 1.5 inch. What are the doors made of?
They're wood.
Oh, okay. So that's not the end of the world.
No, it's not, but we have a whole series of them, so my supervisor, obviously didn't want to bore out the holes for every single door if, da-da-da-da-da,
Are they
how it
fire-rated?
goes. Yes.
Okay, so you can't field modify those, period, end of sentence. If you do, you technically violate the fire rating of the opening.
Correct.
So, since I'm not the code police, so what I would do is obviously call the people that took your money for the hardware and say, I need support. Based on the installation instructions, I see nothing that tells me that collar is not inherently included. So I would find out from them where that collar is. I mean, I'm looking at it square on the installation instructions. Oh,
exactly.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Wait a minute. That collar should be buried in the inside, in the exterior finished shroud is where that collar should be. Are you able to?
Okay, that was like, I was gonna go there next, but I was looking at this and I was like, that doesn't make sense with this, because the thing is that schematic, those pieces that are shown in the schematic are not the exact piece that I have. So that's where I was like, wait, I should be able to flip over in the shroud, but the piece I'm looking at does not look like that. So maybe maybe it's an updated piece where they are using the same instructions and didn't update them, possibly. I don't know.
Well, it's either that or for some reason, which is unlikely, that the D292 is not convertible to a 2 1/8 inch hole. I don't know because I've never played with it, so I don't have experience to tell you whether or not, but I sure see what you're looking at. However, there is no reference on the instructions to the occupancy indicator being convertible, only when it's a single or double cylinder. So there is good cause for you to call the manufacturer and say, hey, I see the instructions for your single or double cylinder. I see where it clearly states I can flip it over for an 1.5 inch hole. What about the 292, the 92 function? And that might make it clear. So the fact that the installation instructions aren't clear does lead me down the path to concluding that it just may not work. Now, so that would be the next call. Realizing that you're going to rework all of those holes, I have a tool that you would when you go to 2 1/8, if that's what you have to do. Do you know how you're going to do that?
I saw the different methods for sort of the DIY method, using different hole saw bits to center and then re-drill that hole. And then I saw some other products of the actual sort of door, the more commercial, professional boring sort of jigs.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't use that, in my opinion. A company that I represent, Major, has a gizmo for doing this. It's a trapezoidal-shaped item that's going to fit down in your hole. And yeah, you're right about the arbor bit fitting through there. And I know I've got it in stock. I just don't remember the part number for it. Probably a video I made a long time ago. So, realizing if you end up having to do that, I've got the tool to do it.
Okay, do you have a name for that I could find, or is that,
Yeah,
or?
that's the issue that I'm having. I'm scrolling through the catalog to find it. What another way to do it would be to use a router. With
Hmm.
a template that you clamped to the door and just route that out.
Yeah, true. Okay.
It's going to take longer, but it'll be a really clean installation. So you could do that, but again, keep in mind, you no longer have fire doors technically.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so what I just don't recall the part number for that, and I'm going through the catalog. I just made a video of it not very long ago. I wonder if it wasn't major and it may have been some other locksmith manufacturer. Yeah, well, anyway, if you end up using that tool, it's a conical shaped kind of tool. You can call me back and I'll absolutely find it if you end up going that route. But
okay. Sure. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say the first call is back to Yale saying, "Hey, I was planning on using 1.5 holes. Are we okay with the 92 function?"
Okay, and then okay, I'm gonna do that, and yeah, these. I'm talking to you because everything is a sort of, you can't get a hold of people these days, as far as customer support goes. So I'll make a claim and see if someone gets back to me.
Yeah, I just if time was infinite, I could help everyone who doesn't buy stuff from me. It's just
no, I understand. Thank you for your time that you did give me. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I've been watching your videos, so the stuff you put out is super helpful, and thank you.
You're welcome. Let me know how it turns out, because I too would like to know if the 92 function will work.
Okay, thank you, Richard.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
Hi, it's Rich from Architectural Builders. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. May I ask you a question on an auxiliary deadbolt?
Yeah, sure. For Corbin or Yale?
Yale.
Yale, yeah.
My client has a bunch of D292s, and he's discovered that all of the holes in his doors are 1.5 inches.
Mm-hmm.
The installation instructions clearly indicate that for just a typical single cylinder, there is a collar orientation that you can flip over to accommodate the 1.5 inches. But that same reference doesn't apply on the instructions to the 292, leading me to believe that it cannot work in an 1.5 inch hole. Can you confirm that?
1.5 inch door thickness?
No. The diameter of the hole.
Oh, the diameter of the hole.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to do a little digging here. Let me see here. Give me a few minutes.
I can give you the document number if that helps.
Yeah, I'm going to pull it up here. Let me get to that section. Yale, what's the, oh, 1 second. What's the document number you have?
Yeah. So it's 263.
007820?
Yes, sir.
All right, got that. So you're saying...
Page 1, upper left-hand area, you'll see the occupancy
I
model
see that.
only.
Mm-hmm.
And it's clearly, Dave, I'll see you tomorrow. And it's clearly, there is no direct reference to the occupancy style being convertible.
Right.
That tells me that it will not work in an 1.5 inch hole. Would you agree with that?
The 1.5 inch hole for the Like the one that they do for the 2 1/8 hole?
Exactly.
From what I know on these, it which I don't believe it will work because
I don't think so either.
it has to be. Those are the same sizes as a regular, D121 or 221, whatever it is, which has to be that 2 1/8 borehole,
Yep.
Yeah, those don't have a different borehole than, or else it would be indicated here, Those don't have a different borehole than the other ones. So those have just a 2 1/8 one that you have to do for the prep.
That's the way I interpret the instructions as well, and I'm going to leave it as satisfied that that's how it is. So
yeah,
awesome.
No, that's how it is, or else we would have a different, a whole totally different installation instructions for this.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Thank you for taking my call. Have a good one.
Yep, you too. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so as you have heard previously, the tech support rep at Yale did seem to conclude perhaps marginally less resolutely than I would like, because frankly he's probably never held one. He's probably never actually installed one, and that's normal. There's always new people coming into our industry, every industry in fact, and time and experience allows you to have the intimate level of understanding of the product line, and I don't think that he actually has that. But my decades of experience and his very good solid intuition both lead us to those instructions are actually clear. So they don't refer to any opportunity for that 292 to go into an 1.5-inch hole at all. In the conversation with the client, I couldn't remember the part number of the tool. Well, it's a GKL HS1. It took me a couple of days, and then I remembered what it was. And here is that tool, the bottom line. This is the tool. It is a really simple sort of situation that you're going to use this in order to accomplish what needs to be accomplished. And again, it's quite obvious that they're going to drill those holes, even though they shouldn't at all. The deal with the fire doors not being, it's the fact that it's not permissible to prep them in the field. It's because you're making a modification to a fire assembly outside of how it was tested. That's the bottom line. There's nothing to say that the door would fail because you've re-drilled an 1.5-inch hole to a 2 1/8. In fact, logically, we would all agree that, of course, it won't fail. You're not inherently changing the net result and performance of the door, but it's not been tested that way. There are absolute clear outlines of what is permissible and what is not permissible. I should say what is permissible on a fire door to re-prep in the field, and drilling an 1.5 to 2 1/8 is not among that. Where you would get that information would be from NFPA 80. The most current version of it, even versions in the last 10 years would certainly have that. So what would happen with the GKL HS1 is you're going to use this piece of steel as the arbor in your hole saw. So you're going to take a 2 1/8-inch hole saw, you're going to attach the arbor to it, and it'll probably have a couple of spring-loaded pins that will fit into 2 holes in the back of the hole saw. But you're going to remove what I believe to be a 1/4-inch diameter drill bit that's there. I don't recall, don't quote me, but it's probably about a 1/4 inch. This is going to take the place of that arbor bit. It has a flattened area there because an arbor bit has an area where it can receive a set screw. This becomes the arbor. Now the hole saw sits over this. Whoa. Sits over this with the teeth at the tip of my fingers. Okay? So the hole saw goes down. This is the arbor. The hole saw is now attached to this, and now you're going to just place this in the hole until it seats that conical shape. And then you're going to drill, and that hole saw is going to go like that. Come to the other side, and there you go. So that's GKL's option. Major also has an option, and it was Major that I first thought of in terms of this tool, and then I realized, I realized with the help of Major that it's not a Major product. There's a gentleman there who is exceptionally helpful when it comes to tech support. Major has a tool as well. Theirs is a different approach. You would attach this to the edge of the door, obviously, and then this is your arbor bit, I should say. And what this tool will do, it will not only do what you want it to do, you'd have to be really careful, though, about how far your hole saw goes in. You'd have to be really careful about that. Because you won't be able to drill all the way through. So it's really not a better tool, because you've got part of the tool here. 2 3/8, 2 3/4. This becomes the arbor. Again, your hole saw. You're going to only be able to go in 5/8 of an inch, and you'll have to finish that hole off by hand once you get it started on either side. I would start the hole on either side, start the hole on this side, and then I would finish it off by hand, just coring out the balance of what's left in there. This tool is a HIT-23. This is a tool that will allow you to re-drill a hole if you've got the wrong back set. So if you've got 2 3/8 and you need 2 3/4, you can do that with this. Okay, is what this is for. You'll need a scar plate most certainly with this. It's basically a donut-shaped piece of flat architectural metal that we also sell as well. But those are the two tools that will do that. Honestly, the GKL would be the more appropriate solution, only because you don't have to finish any of it off by hand. However, if you were willing and agreeable to finishing that off by hand, you would have a tool with the HIT-23 that will give you functionality that the HS1 cannot. You can't re-drill a 2 3/8 backset at 2 3/4 with this. So these are your two parts. Those are your tools that will do that job. Again, don't do it on fire doors in the field. That's technically going to violate the integrity of a fire opening. As I had said in the conversation, I'm not the code police. I probably said it more than once. But there are certain occupancies that are audited on an annual basis, or the code or the NFPA standard dictates that they're to be audited annually. If I'm the fire door assembly inspector and I audit the hospital, I inspected fire doors at a hospital, and I see my record for this door, and it had a cylindrical lock and then a 2 1/8 a deadbolt that took an 1.5 inch hole. The Schlage 100 series, the Schlage 400 series, the Schlage 200 series. Schlage's modern locks will go into an 1.5 inch hole. Kwikset had one that would go in an 1.5 inch hole. Others do. Baldwin, a lot of their deadbolts will take an 1 5/8 hole. So if I'm auditing that door in 2022 and I go back in 2023 and I see something that says, wait a minute, something's changed. My obligation is to report on that opening, to audit that opening and make a record of it. Now there's a record of it, of likely what is going to prove to be an unauthorized field modification to the door. So no one wants any of that, in the sense of taking ownership of doing it, because you've taken a door that was once fire rated and it no longer is. There is now a paper trail of it. That's not good. Not that the door will fail, but funding in hospitals is based on compliance with codes. And if you've got something that's not in compliance with code, you're running afoul of that and compromising a much larger ecosystem, so to speak. Not the code police, but I do feel it's my obligation to just say this is the way that it needs to be and proceed accordingly. Any questions on the Yale product line, anything from Major or GKL, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.